Every mob in Minecraft has its own unique use. Some drop items, others have items that can be used on them, but overall, most of them are useful somehow. We are going over all of them, from the worst to the best. And let me tell you, the best one is not what you would expect. The cow is not the worst, to be honest. Before getting into its uses, we have 3 variants: temperate, cold, and warm, depending on the biome they spawn in. Their favorite food is wheat, which is also the only way to breed them. But now to the features, we have 3 main ones. I would consider leather as the best one on this list, because it has multiple uses. It's used for leather armor, books, bundles, item frames, and with the recent updates, you can also craft harnesses for the happy Ghast, a saddle, and horse armor. Basically super useful. The next useful thing from them is beef, which is self-explanatory. Everyone needs food, and cows are known for being a great food source, because if you cook the beef, you get a steak, which gives you 4 hunger bars, eat 2, and you're good to go. Now for the last use, milk. This has some pretty cool features. First off, you can make a cake, which, to be honest, other than for aesthetic purposes, isn't that useful. But one of the biggest use cases is that you can trade it with a wandering trader. Just kidding. It's not useful, even though you get 2 emeralds for it. But the most useful thing is that when you drink it, it instantly clears all your effects, every single one, which is useful in most cases, like in ocean monuments or if a witch attacks you. But if you've just eaten an enchanted golden apple, maybe stay away from the milk bucket. They are pretty useful, but now let's get to the other variant that is even more useful than the original one. The Mooshroom is basically a normal cow with mushrooms on it, but yet again, we have 2 variants. I know, Notch was pretty crazy about those cows. They spawn in a very rare biome known as mushroom fields, most of the time located in the middle of the ocean. We have a red one and a brown one, but we won't go over the differences since they don't really have that many. You can milk these just like you can milk normal cows, but they have one extra feature. Right-click them with a bowl and you get mushroom stew. But here is a huge difference. If you do that to the red one, you only get mushroom stew, but with the brown one, that's a completely different story. Worth noting is that you need a lightning strike to hit the red cow and turn it into a brown one. If you then right-click that one with a bowl, you get a suspicious stew, and the effect depends on the type of flower you fed them. But I won't waste your time going through all the variants. Just don't feed them a wither rose or something like that. The last feature is the shears. Once you shear them, you get mushrooms and they turn back into a normal cow. But no worries, the mushrooms grow back over time. The sheep is a pretty common and self-explanatory animal, and its uses are super simple. Or are they? They have a hidden feature only a few know about, but we will get into that as soon as you subscribe. Don't worry, it's free, you get a free cookie, and you make my day better. Now to the sheep's uses. You know how you can shear them and get wool to make a bed, which is essential for surviving. There are 16 different wool variants as well as sheep variants, but only a few spawn naturally. Like, you won't see a cyan sheep just sitting in the jungle, which would low-key be pretty cool, but it's not in the game yet. Maybe an upcoming feature, Mojang. They also drop raw mutton, which just like beef is one of the better foods you can consume, but this one gives you 3 hunger bars instead of 4. Still, better than 90% of the food in the game. But the real hidden feature is, if you get a name tag and name it _Jeb, you get a rainbow sheep. And when you shear it, you get, no, not rainbow wool, just a white one. Well, another feature suggestion, what do you think? Oh, you thought that was it? Nope. If there is an evoker next to a blue sheep, it will turn it into a red one almost instantly. I know, crazy Easter egg, and not many people know about it. But did you know? Let me know down in the comments. Overall, the sheep gets a solid 7 out of 10. I mean, if you don't know what a chicken drops, I think we have a bigger problem than this video. It's eggs, if you didn't know. But even though the chicken is known for that, there are a few other useful things it drops once you delete it from existence. But let's start with the egg. Eggs are not used in many crafting recipes, but for the ones they are, they're pretty good. Those being cake and pumpkin pie. And pumpkin pie is just like a steak, giving you 4 hunger bars. I mean, if you look at it that way, eggs are actually a decent food source. Another thing you can do with eggs is throw them. Yes, don't ask me how Notch came up with this one, but it's hilarious that you can just prank your friends by throwing eggs at them, and if you're lucky, a chicken might spawn and surprise them even more. Next up is raw chicken. While all meat types give decent hunger bar points, this one only gives 3 when cooked. I would still prefer a steak, but if you don't have a choice, just take the chicken. Just make sure you cook it, or you will have some problems. The last thing chickens drop is feathers. You might think they're pretty useless, but chickens and parrots are the only mobs that drop them, and they are used in some pretty interesting crafting recipes: arrows, book and quill, and a brush. The rabbit, while being so basic, has some pretty unique drops made specifically for it. Rabbit hide, raw rabbit, and rabbit's foot. But what is each used for? Well, let's get into it. 4 rabbit hides make 1 leather, which, to be honest, is a bit of a scam. Why kill 4 rabbits when you can just kill 1 cow? Where is the logic, Notch? Cooked rabbit is the worst meat in the game, because it only gives you 2.5 hunger bars. But you can make a rabbit stew with a cooked rabbit, carrot, baked potato, mushroom, and a bowl. And that one gives you 5 hunger bars. I know, pretty good. Eat 2 and you're good to go. Rabbit's foot is an interesting one. Not because of its use, because it's pretty much useless, but because the rabbit is not the only mob that drops it. Yes, you heard that right. The second mob that drops it is the husk, but only if it's riding a camel. Why? Don't judge me, Judge Notch. The rabbit is kinda useless if you ask me, but what do you think? Let me know, and while you're down there, subscribe as well. The horse is one of those mobs that completely changes how you travel, once you actually find a good one. They spawn in plains and savanna biomes in small herds, and here's the thing most people don't realize. Every horse has different stats. Speed, jump height, health, all of it varies from horse to horse. So if you just grab the first one you see, you're probably riding a slow one with terrible jump, and you don't even know it. Worth taking a few minutes to test a couple before committing. Taming them is simple. Just hop on, get bucked off, hop back on, repeat until little hearts appear. Then slap a saddle on and you've got the fastest land transport in the game. You can also equip horse armor, which comes in leather, iron, gold, and diamond. And the leather one can actually be dyed, which is a fun detail nobody uses. Pink horse, cyan armor, why not? Horses come in 7 colors with 5 marking patterns, so 35 combinations total. Some look great, others look like Notch was tired that day. But variety is variety. Now, one annoying detail. Horses can't fit through a 1-block tall opening. So if you're building a stable, you need at least 2 blocks of clearance. You'll forget this and lock your horse outside at least once. Everyone does. Overall, the horse is a solid 8 out of 10. Fast, useful, and looks cool. But the second you get elytra, you'll never touch one again. The donkey is the horse's slower, slightly less impressive cousin, but with one massive advantage. You can put a chest on it. That's it. That's the feature. But honestly, that one feature makes the donkey more useful than most horses in specific situations. 15 extra inventory slots that walk around with you, which sounds small until you realize how much you actually carry on a long expedition. They spawn in plains biomes alongside horses, and taming them works exactly the same way. Hop on, get thrown off, hop on again. Once tamed, right-click with a chest, and now you have a moving storage unit. You can still saddle them up and ride them too, although they are noticeably slower than horses and cannot jump nearly as high. So if speed is your priority, this is not your animal. The one real downside is that you cannot breed donkeys with horses and get more donkeys. You get a mule instead, which we will get to in a second. So if you want more donkeys, you actually need to find more of them in the wild, which is more annoying than it should be. Donkeys also do not come in different colors or patterns. They all look identical. Mojang clearly put all the variety budget into the horses and had nothing left over for these guys. A bit unfair, but the chest more than makes up for it. Overall, the donkey is a 7 out of 10. Slow, plain looking, but the chest carries it. Literally. The mule is what you get when you breed a horse and a donkey, and it's basically the best of both parents. You get the chest storage from the donkey and slightly better speed and jump from the horse side. Not the fastest mount in the game, but easily the most practical one if you actually need to carry things around. The catch is you cannot find mules in the wild, ever. Every single mule in your world has to be made on purpose, which means you need both a horse and a donkey before you can have one. And here's the kicker. Mules cannot breed with anything. Not other mules, not horses, not donkeys. Each one is a dead end, which is biologically accurate but slightly inconvenient when you want a small army of them. They look like a horse with darker coloring, no real variance to speak of, but for what they do, they get the job done. The Camel is one of the more recent additions to the game and easily the most unique mount on this list. 2 players can ride one at the same time, which is the only mob in Minecraft that allows that, making it weirdly perfect for multiplayer travel. They spawn in desert villages, and once you saddle one up, you've got access to a dash ability that launches you forward across gaps, useful for crossing ravines without building a bridge. They're also tall enough that most hostile mobs cannot actually reach you while you're sitting on top, so zombies just stand there looking up at you in confusion. The downside is they're slow. Slower than horses, slower than basically anything else with legs. So if speed matters, this is not your pick. But for desert travel specifically, where mobs are everywhere and you usually have a friend with you, it genuinely shines. Also, they sit down when idle. No real reason, they just do it. Cute touch. The Strider is the only way to travel across lava in the Nether without dying, which alone makes it one of the most useful mobs in the game. Found in lava lakes throughout the Nether, they walk on top of lava like it's solid ground and take 0 damage from it. To ride one, you need a saddle and a warped fungus on a stick. The same concept as carrots on sticks for pigs, just with the Nether's least appetizing mushroom. Hold it up and the Strider follows, letting you steer across massive lava lakes without burning every potion you brought. There is one important thing to know. Striders take damage from water and rain. Step them into a puddle and they start losing health fast, which is the kind of detail that catches new players completely off guard the first time it happens. Keep them in the Nether and they'll live forever. They drop string when killed, which is honestly more useful than it sounds. String is rare in the Nether, and crafting things like bows or scaffolding becomes a real pain without it. So even a dead Strider is doing you a favor. The Axolotl is one of the cutest mobs in the game and also one of the most genuinely useful in very specific situations. They spawn in lush caves underwater, come in 5 colors including a rare blue variant with a 1 in 1,200 chance from breeding, and you collect them by scooping them up with a bucket. The real reason to bring Axolotls anywhere is combat. They attack hostile underwater mobs on your behalf, guardians, drowned, elder guardians, all of them. Bring a few to an ocean monument and they basically clear the place out while you focus on actually mining the gold. And if one of your Axolotls is in a fight near you, killing the mob gives you regeneration and removes mining fatigue. So they don't just help you fight, they actively help you mine afterwards. One quick note though, that regeneration buff caps at 2 minutes in Java. If you're playing Bedrock, it's uncapped, so more Axolotls means more regen with no limit. There's another detail people forget. Axolotls play dead when they take damage, becoming invulnerable for 10 seconds while regenerating health. So even if a fight goes badly, they usually survive it. The only real downside is they need water to live, so transporting them means buckets and planning. But for the ocean monument trip alone, they're worth every bit of the effort. The frog sounds completely pointless until you actually find out what it does. They live in swamps and mangrove swamps, hop around being weirdly cute, and come in 3 variants: temperate, warm, and cold. And no, they're not just decoration. They produce the brightest light source in the entire game. Here's the trick. Feed a frog a tiny magma cube, and I mean the tiny ones, not the big ones. And instead of attacking it, the frog just sucks it up with its tongue and spits out a frog light. Light level 15, the max the game allows. Pretty incredible for an animal that looks like it has no idea what year it is. Each frog variant gives you a different color frog light. Temperate frogs make ochre, warm ones make pearlescent, and cold ones make verdant. So if you want all 3, you need one of each. And here's the part Notch made way too confusing. The frog variant is decided by the biome the tadpole grows up in, not the biome the parent came from. You can breed 2 warm frogs, drop the tadpole in a cold area, and you get a cold frog. Don't ask me why, ask the team that built it. They also eat small slimes for slime balls, which is a nice bonus if you don't have a slime farm already. The turtle is one of those mobs that's actually useful, but takes way longer to get anything out of than it should. They spawn on beaches, you breed them with seagrass, and once you do, the female turtle goes back to its home beach to lay eggs. Yes, they remember where they were born. Not sure why Mojang programmed that in, but they did. Now, here's the catch. Turtles don't drop anything when you kill them. Nothing. You actually need to wait for the eggs to hatch, then wait again for the baby turtles to grow into adults, and only then they drop a single scute each. 1 scute. And you need 5 of them to craft a turtle shell. So you're looking at a long process for 1 helmet, but the turtle shell is genuinely worth the wait. Wear it and you get 10 extra seconds of underwater breathing on top of the protection you'd get from a regular helmet. Pair it with a respiration enchantment and you're swimming around like a fish. The shell is also used for brewing the potion of the Turtle Master, which gives you resistance and slowness at the same time. So you take way less damage, but you also move like a sloth. Useful in very specific situations. Boss fights, raids, anything where standing still is actually the goal. Overall, the turtle is more patience than reward, but the gear pays off. The Armadillo is one of the newer mobs in the game and exists for basically one reason: to give your wolf some armor. Without it, your tamed wolf is a glass cannon that dies to anything bigger than a chicken. With it, suddenly you have a tank. They spawn in savanna and badlands biomes, and unlike most mobs, you don't actually kill them to get anything. Killing an armadillo gives you absolutely nothing. Notch made sure of that. Instead, they drop a scute on their own every 5 to 10 minutes, just casually shedding it like it's no big deal. You can also speed this up with a brush, which is the only real use for the brush outside of archaeology. Quick note though, in Java, the brush gives you 4 scutes before it breaks, and in Bedrock, you get 5. Slight edge to Bedrock for once. 6 scutes craft 1 piece of wolf armor, which gives your wolf protection roughly equal to diamond horse armor. It has durability, so you'll need to repair it over time, but each scute you slap onto damaged armor restores a decent chunk of it. Worth keeping a small armadillo farm just to keep your wolves in top shape. You breed them with spider eyes, which is one of the more random food choices in the game. Why spider eyes? Don't ask me, ask Notch. And if you sprint or ride ride a horse past them, they roll up into a ball and refuse to do anything for a while. So just walk slowly, like you respect them. The Sniffer is one of the strangest mobs in the game, partly because of how it looks, partly because of how rare it is, and partly because it's literally the only way to get 2 specific plants. They don't spawn naturally anywhere. The only way to get one is to find a Sniffer egg, which you only get by brushing suspicious sand in warm ocean ruins. So before you even meet a Sniffer, you're already on a treasure hunt. Once you hatch one, the Sniffer wanders around and occasionally plants its nose in the ground to dig up either torchflower seeds or pitcher pods. Both of these plants exist nowhere else in the game. Killing every mob in Minecraft 100 times will not give you a single torchflower seed. Only the Sniffer can find them. Speaking of finding things, if you're enjoying the video so far, drop a like and let me know in the comments which mob you didn't even know existed until now. I have a feeling the Sniffer is going to come up a lot. Once you have one Sniffer, you can breed it with torchflower seeds, which drops a Sniffer egg as an item. Yes, an egg, not a baby. You have to place the egg down, wait for it to hatch, 20 minutes on most blocks, 10 if you use moss, and then wait another 40 minutes for the baby to grow up. Double the time of most baby mobs in the game. One small bedrock note, in Bedrock Edition, only Sniffers at full health can breed, and feeding them torchflower seeds also heals them by 2 health points. Java doesn't have either of those rules, which makes Java breeding slightly more convenient. Patient mob, weird process, but the torchflower and pitcher plant are genuinely beautiful additions to any base. The Allay is the closest thing Minecraft has to a personal assistant. Small, blue, floats around, and somehow ends up doing more for your base than you do. They spawn trapped inside dark oak cages near pillager outposts or locked in cells inside woodland mansions, and you just free them. No taming, no breeding, no headache. Here's how they work. Give an Allay any item, and it goes off looking for more of the exact same item lying on the ground. Anything matching gets collected and brought right back to you. So if you toss a few cobblestones at it and let it loose near a mining area, it cleans up the floor for you while you keep working. Pure automation, no redstone required. But the better trick is the note block 1. If an Allay hears a note block play within the last 30 seconds, it brings items to that note block instead of you, which means you can set up entire automated sorting systems just by placing note blocks in the right spots. People have built insane item sorters using this one feature alone. Want more Allays? Easy. Put a jukebox down, play any music disc, and the Allay starts dancing. Give it an amethyst shard while it's dancing, and it duplicates itself. There's a 5-minute cooldown between duplications, but once you've got 2 Allays, you can repeat it forever. And once you've got a small army of them, you'll wonder how you ever played without them. Only real downside is they can't enter water, which catches you off guard the first time one freezes at the edge of a pond. Other than that, the Allay is genuinely one of the best mobs Mojang has ever added. The cat is the second best pet in the game, only losing to the dog because the dog actually fights for you. But cats have their own thing going on, and once you have one, you start to understand why people defend them so passionately. You find them in villages and witch huts, and they spawn untamed as stray cats. To tame one, you need raw cod or raw salmon. Hold the fish, stand completely still, and let the cat come to you. Move too fast and it runs off, which is honestly the most accurate cat behavior Mojang has ever programmed. There are 11 cat variants in total, including black, white, tabby, calico, and several others. Black cats specifically are more common during a full moon, which is just Mojang having fun with cat superstitions. Now, the real reason to have a cat is protection. Creepers actively avoid cats, keeping at least 6 blocks of distance, and phantoms keep 16 blocks of distance. So a tamed cat around your base means no more random creeper explosions in your guard, worth it for that alone. But the cat's secret weapon is the morning gift. If your tamed cat sleeps near your bed when you sleep, there's a 70% chance it leaves you a gift in the morning. The list includes rabbit's foot, rabbit hide, string, rotten flesh, feathers, raw chicken, and most importantly, phantom membranes. Phantom membranes are normally a pain to farm, but with a cat farm, you get them while you sleep. Quite literally, passive income. One small bedrock note. In Java, cats hiss at phantoms that are actively chasing you, which is a nice warning. Bedrock doesn't have that, so just trust your cat's vibes instead. The Parrot is one of those mobs that's mostly aesthetic, but has one feature that genuinely makes it useful, and one feature that will end its life immediately if you mess up. You find parrots in jungle biomes, and they come in 5 colors: red, green, blue, cyan, and gray. To tame one, you feed it any kind of seed: wheat, melon, pumpkin, beetroot, even torchflower seeds and pitcher pods. The taming chance is 1 in 10 per seed though, so don't bring just a few. Bring a stack and prepare to be patient. Now, the actually useful feature. Parrots mimic the idle sounds sounds of nearby hostile mobs within a 20-block radius. Pitch is slightly higher, but it's the same sound, so if you're walking through a dark cave and your parrot suddenly hisses, there's a creeper somewhere close. Living mob radar with feathers. They mimic almost everything in the game except guardians and elder guardians. Those two apparently don't make enough noise for Mojang to bother programming in. Once tamed, you can also let them sit on your shoulder, which looks cool, but is mostly useless. They jump off whenever you crouch or take any fall damage, so don't rely on them sticking around through any actual exploration. And here's the part you really need to know. Never feed a parrot a cookie. In Java Edition, the cookie kills the parrot instantly. In Bedrock, it gets fatal poison instead. Same outcome, slightly different animation. This is Mojang's way of teaching kids that chocolate is toxic to birds in real life, which is wholesome until you accidentally murder your pet. One small Bedrock note. If you have a parrot on your shoulder in Bedrock, you can't enter a nether portal. Java doesn't have that rule, so if you're going netherbound on Bedrock, drop the bird first. The Snow Golem is one of 2 utility mobs you can actually build yourself, and it's basically Mojang's idea of a defensive turret. Stack 2 snow blocks, drop a carved pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern on top. Pumpkin has to be the last block placed, and a Snow Golem comes to life. Once built, it walks around throwing snowballs at every hostile mob within 10 blocks. And here's the catch most people don't know about. Those snowballs deal 0 damage to almost everything. Skeletons, zombies, creepers, spiders, all of them just get knocked around a bit and look mildly annoyed. The only mobs that actually take damage from the snowballs are blazes, which lose 3 hearts per hit, and wolves, weirdly enough. So the real use of a snow golem is to distract, not to fight. Hostile mobs target the golem instead of you, which gives you the perfect window to deal damage yourself. It also leaves a trail of snow wherever it walks, which is genuinely useful if you need a renewable source of snowballs. Build a few in a fenced area, scoop the snow with a shovel, and you've got an infinite snowball farm. Pair it with a power 5 bow, and you've got a nether-ready blaze killer. One important thing, snow golems die in any hot biome. Deserts, savannas, jungles, badlands, and obviously the nether. They also melt in rain and water, which makes them surprisingly fragile. Fire resistance potions keep them alive in hot biomes, but only in Java Edition. Bedrock doesn't allow that, so if you're on Bedrock, just keep them somewhere cold. One quick Bedrock note, in Java, the snow trail appears in any biome regardless of temperature. In Bedrock, the trail doesn't generate in hot biomes at all, so snow farming on Bedrock is more limited. The glow squid is the squid that won a popularity vote and turned out to be mostly aesthetic. Spawns deep underwater in dark areas, usually below Y level 30, and you'll find them lighting up the water in caves and rivers if you swim deep enough. Killing one drops 1 to 3 glow ink sacs, which have 2 uses. First, you can apply them to signs to make the text glow, not actually emit light, but become much more visible in the dark, like the way spider eyes shine. Second, combine a glow ink sac with an item frame and you get a glow item frame, which makes any item displayed inside it visible even at night. That's basically it. No special breeding, no creature-on-creature combat, no real survival use, just decoration and organization. But for anyone building a storage room or making maps in a dark base, the glow signs and frames are genuinely useful. Function over flash, even if the squid itself is mostly flash. The Happy Ghast is the biggest mobility addition Minecraft has had since the Elytra, and the process of getting one is genuinely strange. You start in the nether by finding a dried ghast block, Soul, a small gray cube with a sad face, found near bone block fossils in Soul Sand valleys. Take it back to the overworld, drop it in water, and wait. After 20 minutes, the block turns into a ghastling, basically a baby Happy Ghast. Feed it snowballs to speed up its growth, and once it's fully grown, you've got a flying mount. To ride one, you need a harness, which is crafted from 3 leather, 2 glass, and 1 wool block. The wool color determines the harness color, so you can match your ghast to whatever theme your base is built around. Equip the harness, hop on, and now up to 4 players can ride the same ghast at the same time. Yes, 4. It's the only mount in the game that actually fits a full friend group. The really clever feature is that you can leash mobs or boats underneath it, so suddenly you can airlift horses, sniffers, villagers, or full cargo from one side of the map to the other. It's slower than an Elytra, but you don't need fireworks, and you don't need to worry about fall damage. 2 quick Bedrock notes. In Bedrock, 10 snowballs instantly fully grow a ghastling. In Java, each snowball just shaves 10% off the remaining growth time. Slight Bedrock advantage if you're impatient. The Happy Ghast doesn't despawn, doesn't attack, and works as a literal flying platform when you stand on top of one without a harness. Best new mob in years, honestly. The villager is, without exaggeration, the most important mob in the entire game once you understand how trading works. Every late-game economy in survival Minecraft runs through villagers, and if you skip them, you're playing the game on hard mode for no reason. Villagers live in villages, breed on their own as long as there are beds and food, and have 13 different professions you can assign by placing the right job site block near an unemployed one. Lectern makes a librarian, blast furnace makes an armorer, smoker makes a butcher, and so on. Each profession sells different items and progresses through 5 trade levels: novice, apprentice, journeyman, expert, and master, with the badge on their chest changing from stone to diamond as they level up. The higher the level, the better the trades unlock. Now, the librarian is the most important one of the bunch. They sell enchanted books, including mending, which is the only treasure enchantment you can get without searching ruined portals and chests for hours. The trick is to find a novice librarian with bad trades, break and replace the lectern, and the trades re-roll. Keep doing it until you get mending. Yes, that's a thing. Yes, it's intended. Mojang knows we all do it. The other gold mine is the farmer. Farmers buy crops for emeralds, which makes a single auto farm into infinite money. Combine that with a librarian selling mending, and your entire enchanted gear setup becomes effectively renewable for the rest of your world. But the real secret is curing zombie villagers. Find a zombie villager, hit it with a weakness potion, give it a golden apple, and after 8 minutes, it turns back into a regular villager, with permanently discounted trades that often drop down to 1 emerald per item. Do this for every villager in your hall, and suddenly diamond gear costs you basically nothing. Also, the hero of the village effect, earned by winning a raid in a village, discounts trades across that entire village for several days. If your trading hall is already cheap, this makes it absurdly cheap. The combination is genuinely game-breaking. Just one quick warning, nitwit villagers are the green-robed ones, and they cannot be given a profession ever. They're the cousin nobody talks about. Just kill them, or don't. Either way, they contribute nothing. The Wandering Trader is the most disliked passive mob in the game, and most players will agree on that without hesitation. He spawns randomly somewhere near you with 2 trader llamas leashed behind him and immediately starts walking around offering trades nobody asked for. His inventory is genuinely random every spawn. Most of the time, it's useless filler: gunpowder, leaves, slime balls. But sometimes you'll get lucky and find him selling something you actually need, like sea pickles, coral blocks, small drip leaves, or sand and red sand. And here's the part most players don't realize. He's the only renewable source of those items in some specific scenarios. On a super flat world, the Wandering Trader is literally the only way to get sand at all, so don't be too quick to ignore him. His behavior is the funniest part. At dusk, he drinks an invisibility potion and disappears completely. In the morning, he drinks milk to remove it, so if you time it right and kill him while he's drinking either one, there's a chance he drops a milk bucket or an invisibility potion. Free brewing ingredients from a guy who was annoying you anyway. The trader llamas spit at you if you attack the trader, which doesn't deal much damage but still adds insult to injury. You can also shear the leads, take the llamas for yourself, and they keep their unique blue rug design, which you cannot get anywhere else. He despawns after a while, doesn't turn into a zombie villager if killed by zombies, and doesn't get struck by lightning into a witch. Annoying, but occasionally useful enough to be worth tolerating. And that is every passive mob in Minecraft and what it actually does for you. Some of them are quietly carrying your entire world without you noticing. Others are basically Mojang's idea of a joke, and a few are genuinely game-changing once you understand them properly. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and let me know in the comments which mob you've been sleeping on this whole time. Subscribe if you are not already, and the next video is already up. Go check it out.